Hello everyone. This video is going to show how to use the product rule to find the derivative. So basically, product rule is referred to the function. If you have a function y equals to u, x is a function of x multiplied by the other function of x. Then if you have this type of function, you want to differentiate it or you want to find its derivative, you can use the product rule. So what is the formula of the product rule? Dy dx is equals to, actually you can copy down one of the function that you want, either u or v. So for this case, I copy down the ux, and then you differentiate the other function, which is forming the v prime, and then plus copy down the function that you have just differentiated, and then you differentiate the ux, which is the function that you copied down just now in the first term. So in short, you can say that the formula is a u v prime plus a v u prime. Means that you copy down one of the function, you differentiate the other function, plus you copy down the other function, and you differentiate the function of the first function that you have. All right. So for this question, I have four example in showing how to apply the product rules. For the first one, y equals to x multiplied by x minus 1 cube. First of all, I will assume this as a u, x as a u, and the v as a x minus 1 cube. So I will write this down, u equals to x, and the v equals to x minus 1 cube. So in the formula of the product rule, we can see that we need the v prime and the u prime. Means that we need to differentiate the u with respect to x, that forming the u prime. So if u prime is differentiating the x with respect to x, you got 1. And the v prime is differentiating this function with respect to x. And here I will apply the power rule, which I will copy down. I will bring the 3 over to get the 3 now become the coefficient of this factor x minus 1, and the power of the 3 become 2, because the 3 minus 1 you got 2, and whatever that you have inside this bracket, you just copy it down in the bracket, and after that you multiply by the inner function, you multiply by the differentiate the inner function, you get 1. Okay, then you simplify it, you get this. Alright, so according to the dy dx equals to u v prime plus vu prime, is as if that you are cross multiply u multiplied by v prime and plus with the v multiplied by u prime. So let's see, we are going to start to differentiate now. Dy dx equals to u v prime plus vu prime. I write down again the formula. So u v prime means that you are taking this x multiplied by the v prime, u as x, and multiply by the v prime, you get a 3 x minus 1 square plus v multiplied by u prime. V is given as a x minus 1 cube multiplied by the u prime, which is equivalent to 1, and now you simplify. So can you rewrite your answer again so that it look nicer for you to simplify later. Now you can look at your answer. It consists of two terms. This is the first term and this is the second term. So look at the both terms. Is there any common factor that you can factor it out? Yes. All right. You have a x minus 1 square in the first term and the x minus 1 cube appear in the second term. So you actually can factor out the x minus 1 square because it is a common factor for both terms. And what does it mean by factor out? It means you are divide the first term and the second term divided by x minus 1 cube. So just consider the first term. When you have 3x x minus 1 square divided by x minus 1 square, means that x minus 1 square we can cancel off. You have your 3x inside the bracket, and plus x for the second term, x minus 1 cube divided by x minus 1 square, means that it's cancel off the x minus 1 square, you have your x minus 1 power of 1. Okay, so now continue to simplify. You have your common factor x minus 1 square outside here, and then inside the bracket you simplified it, you got 4x minus 1. So check again, is there anything can be simplified? If yes, then you go simplify further. If not, then this is your final answer. All right. So this is the first example on showing you about how to apply the product rules. For the second question, second example, all right, we will still see this as a u and this as a v because this function consists of a u multiplied by v. U multiplied by v. So probably we will apply the product rules. So for the product rule, again, I will write down which become my u and which become my v. So my u now I have decided to represent the x minus 3 cube, and the v represent the x minus 5 power of 4. And later on, you need to differentiate u with respect to x, get your u prime. Here I apply the power rule. I have my 3, bring over, you got 3. X minus 3, just copy down. And the power of 3 minus 1, you got 2. Then you multiply by differentiate inner function. Inner function differentiate, you get 1. So it's the same as a 3x plus 3 power of 2. To get your v prime, I will apply the power rule as well. So bring the 4 over, then you copy down whatever the inner function in your bracket. And the 4 minus 1, you got 3. Then you multiply by 1. Where you get the 1, you differentiate the inner function, that is 1. So you get back your 4x minus 5 power of 3. So now I can see that the formula of the product rule is u v prime plus v u prime. So I will start to differentiate it. dy dx equals to u v prime, which is x plus 3 power of 3. Multiplied by the v prime is a 4x minus 5 power of 3, and plus vu prime. V is your x minus 5 power of 4, and the u prime is your 3x minus 3 power of 2. So rearrange it. Normally, I will put the coefficient as a leading of the term, okay, leading number of the term, and then the 3 x minus 5 power of 4, x minus 3 power of 2. Then consider two terms. Where comes the two term? This is the first term and this is the second term. So firstly, look at the coefficient of the both terms. Is there any common factor? No. If no, then you don't have to factor out. Then x plus 3 power of 3. Here appear the x plus 3 power of 3. And for the second term, appear the x plus 3 power of 2. So actually, we can factor out the x plus 3 power of 2. And for the factor x minus 5 power of 3 and x minus 5 power of 4 appear in the second term and the first term, we can factor out the x minus 5 power of 3. After you have done it, then you will consider the first term. If the first term divided by whatever you factor out, so what left inside the bracket? 4 is left inside. And x plus 3 power of 3, if factor out x plus 3 power of 2, you have your x plus 3 power of 1. And x minus 5 power of 3 already been factored out, so it left 1 inside. All right, plus with the 3, you just copy it down. And then x minus 5 power of 4 has been factored out, power of 3, so left the x minus 5 power of 1. And x plus 3 power of 2 has been factored out, then we will left 1 inside this bracket. And rearrange it. You expand and simplify. Expand this and simplify. You got 4x plus 12 plus 3x minus 15. And then simplify further. 4x plus 3x, you got 7x. 12 minus the 15, you got negative 3. All right, so this is our final answer. After you have checked all the three terms, there is no more common factor, then this is the simplest form of your answer. Let's look at the third example. Third example, again, I will let this become the u and this one become the v. So write down your u equals to x plus 1 power of 4, and the v is equals to x squared minus 1 power of 1. Yes. Then you got your u prime. U prime is 4x plus 1 power of 3, and the v prime is 2x 2x. Yes. Then get your dy dx. dy dx again is a u v prime plus a v u prime is a formula. U v prime means that you are taking the u multiplied by the v prime, which you will get x plus 1 power of 4 multiplied by 2x plus vu prime, which is x squared minus 1 multiply by the u prime, you got a 4x plus 1 power of 3. Then you can try to rearrange it if you want, or you may check, you may direct checking the both term. Here I highlight, this is your first term and this is your second term. All right, check both terms. Is there any common factor? Yes, x plus 1 power of 4 appear over here at the first term, and at the second term, we have an x plus 1 power of 3. So we might factor out the x plus 1 power of 3. Then is there any more common factor? If there's no more, then we can put a bracket to consider what left in the first and the second term. So when the first term, 2x, x plus 1 power of 4 been divided by this x plus 1 power of 3, what we left inside is a 2x, x plus 1. All right, then plus when you consider the second term, if it divided by x plus 1 power of 3, then what we left inside here is a 4x squared minus 1. All right, then close your bracket. In the bracket, in the big bracket, you try to simplify, see what you get. So you get a 2x squared and plus 2x plus 4x squared minus 1. Okay, so what else can be simplified? You can combine the like term, which 2x squared plus 4x squared, you got a 6x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, so this has been a quadratic factor. Check whether this quadratic factor can be factorized. Maybe if it can be factorized, you need to factorize. After checking, this quadratic factor cannot be factorized, so this will be the final answer for the dy dx. All right, we proceed to the last example. So for this example D, we have u as a x plus 2 and the v as a square root of x minus 4. So write down the u as your x plus 2, get your u prime. U prime will be 1. And the v as your square root of x minus 4, or you may write this in the form of x minus 4 power of 1 over 2. Get your v prime, you got the 1 over 2, bring over to the front. And the power has been minus 1. You get a negative 1 over 2 and multiply by 1. Because you differentiate x minus 4, you get 1. Okay, so you can write it down as your 1 over 2 square root of x minus 4. Alright, so get your dy dx by applying the product rule. vu prime plus uv prime plus vu prime, which you're taking the u x plus 2 multiplied by the v prime, which is your 1 over 2 square root of x minus 4 plus vu prime taking the square root of x minus 4 multiplied by the u prime, which is equivalent to 1. Okay, so you have your x plus 2 over 2 square root of x minus 4. Okay, so plus a square root of x minus 4. And then this is not going to be your final answer because it's not yet been simplified. So now we will, how do I simplify? I will equating denominator to make it the denominator into 2 square root of x minus 4. So for the first term, originally it has a denominator 2 square root of x minus 4. So we just copy the numerator down and plus. So originally for the second term, we have the denominator as 1. So if you want to make it the 1 into the 2 square root of x minus 4, what you can do is you just multiply by 2 square root of x minus 4, and you did the same. You will do the same for the numerator. Okay, so the numerator square root of x minus 4 over here multiplied by 2 square root of x minus 4, you will get 2 x minus 4, because the square root of x minus 4 square, you get x minus 4. Then we will further simplify. X plus 2x, you got 3x, and the 2 minus 8, you got negative 6 over 2 square root of x minus 4. And check whether anything can be simplified. If this is the simplest form, then we just leave this as your final answer. Alright, so thank you for watching my video. Hope this will help to you to understand the product rule. Thank you.